If time isn't really linear, like I said in part 1 of this video, then what about the star systems? What about distance? What about space? So let's talk about that. So the way that I see it when I start tuning into your Akashic records is that you usually come down directly from the angelic realm. And for the sake of simplicity, I do kind of try to stick to a linear reading while explaining the nonlinearity of your soul. So we come down from this angelic realm. We start playing in the different universes. There's a variety of different universes, galaxies, star systems. All these places hold a different frequency. So this is why you will be able to have certain experiences on Earth that you would not be able to have, for instance, in another star system, and vice versa. And because time doesn't exist, like we saw in video number 1, so go watch that first, we do experience these places as being far away in distance, and frequencies translated through a 3D lens becomes distance, basically. So all of these places are still accessible when we attune our radio dial to them, the radio dial that I mentioned in the first video. So we have lived so many numerous lifetimes in different universes, galaxies, star systems, parallel Earths that are present in these different universes. This is something that not a lot of people realize. There's multiple Atlantises, multiple Lemurias, multiple star systems of the ones that we see in our sky. We've lived so many numerous lifetimes. The ones that will be coming up in the reading, when I do your reading, they're not going to be all the lifetimes that your soul is experiencing. I believe that we have had at least a handful of cosmic connections, probably way more, in these other star systems, galaxies, other universes. And in some parts of our lives, certain ones will come forward a little more than others. So when you hear people saying they are a Pleiadian, they are a Sirian, they are an Arcturian, they are a Lyran, they are all these different, they are like a specific, they identify with one specific star system. What I believe that actually means, and from what I am constantly seeing when I do people's Akashic Records readings, is that there is a particular moment in time in their life where they are most aligned with that specific frequency, and carrying that medicine of that specific frequency in that moment where they are recognizing themselves perhaps as a Pleiadian, as a Sirian. And so if they were to have another Akashic Records reading 5 years later, a whole new frequency would come forward, a whole new series of incarnations may come up for them, will come up for them actually, because they have integrated all of the other energies and they are ready to dig deeper into their soul. The same goes for the Atlantean and the Lemurian lifetimes. We often have had at least 2, 3, 4, maybe different ones, and when I do your reading, one specific one may come up. But that does not mean that that is all of your experiences. Atlantis was many, many, many times more in linear time when we look at it, and when we go and translate that then into soul frequency. What you would have would basically be a percentage. It's like a pie chart. And if you as a soul have experienced a lot of time, linear time, in Atlantis, that may show up as 80% of your soul experience compared to just a little bit of history that we know here. So this is part 2 of this video of nonlinear Akashic Records reading. So this is basically how I read your records, because this is more accurate to how the soul actually navigates all of these experiences. So go find my free playlist on YouTube. Watch video number 1 first. The playlist on YouTube is titled Akashic Records Lessons. I have a whole book, by the way. I really should be promoting this more. I don't talk about it enough. The name is Step into the Time Machine, and it's all about the non-linearity of time, examples of people's readings, the stuff that comes up, stories, And so if you want to learn more, you can always book an Akashic Records reading with me. They are very detailed. They basically are going to be, people call them sometimes the gift that keeps on giving, because it is a time-released activation. So check all that out in the readings menu on my website. If you're curious about the book, you can also find it in the arts and book menu on my website. Step into the time machine. Find the free playlist on YouTube titled Akashic Records Lessons. You can find all the information again in the description. Any more questions about Akashic Records, also send them my way, and also check the playlist because they may have been answered in there. Bye bye.